Good day, sir. I'm Brent Mark D. DECASA, BSMT2 Betelgeuse, and this is my Week A6 formative assessment. Common damage or defects that may occur on watertight transverse bulkheads situated at the ends of dry cargo holds of a bulk carrier. The following are examples of the more common damage defects that may occur. First is the fractures at the boundaries of corrugation and bulkhead stalls, particularly in way of shell plates, shader plates, deck, inner bottom, and etc. For example, fractures on web of corrugation initiating at intersection of adjacent shader plates, fracture initiating at the corners of the shader plate, connections to the shell plate and corrugations. Second, buckling of the plating or corrugations, leading to the failure and collapse of the bulkhead under water pressure in an emergency situation, as you can see in the pictures, sir. Third is excessive wastage or corrosion, in particular at the mid, height, and bottom of bulkheads, which may look in deceptively good condition. This is created by the corrosive effect of cargo and environment, in particular when the structure is not coated. In this respective, special attention should be given to the following areas: bulkhead plating adjacent to the shell plating, bulkhead trunks which form part of the venting, filling, and discharging arrangements between the topside tanks and the hopper tanks, bulkhead plating and weld connection to the lower or upper stall shell plates, weld connections of stall plating to the lower or upper stall shell plates and inner bottom, in way of weld connections to topside tanks and hopper tanks. Any areas where coating have broken down and there is evidence of corrosion or wastage, it is recommended that random thickness determination be taken to establish the level of diminution and other structures diaphragms inside the stalls, particularly at the upper and lower weld connections. Fracturing of the structural members of a transverse bulkhead of a bulk carrier are side shell plating, connection of bulkhead plating to side shell, connection of side shell frame and end brackets to the shell plating on upper side tank plating by close-up inspection, connection of side shell frame and end brackets to the shell plating and topside tank plating. Actions to control structural stresses and fatigue. Routing planned maintenance and inspection of structural members of cargo holds and hatch covers. Identification of susceptible areas prone to fatigue and stresses. Ensure accessibility of the area to be surveyed with due regards to the area under inspection shall be clean and well lit. Next, careful planning of the surveys to be undergone with all personnel involved. Next, where a fracture which not be caused by contact damage is found in the main hull structure on one side of a ship, corresponding structure on the opposite side should be examined to see if a similar fatigue has occurred. Fractures of this nature are of concern, especially where corrosion is associated with failure and may be contributing factors. Importance of assessing defects and damage to cargo spaces. It is important that the protective coatings in cargo holds and water ballast tanks are maintained. Therefore, it is imperative that the cargo holds and deck areas should be inspected by ship deck officer upon completion of cargo operations to identify any signs of physical damage, corrosion, or coating damage to the ship's structure. Where hull damage is identified, which may affect the integrity of the hull structure and seaworthiness of the ship, it should be reported according to the Classification Society. The internal hold structure and protective coatings in the cargo hold and adjacent double bottom spaces are vulnerable to damage when the cargo is discharged by using grabs. Grabs are made from toughened steel material and, when carelessly used, can cause considerable damage to the ship's structure. Chipping, sharp indentations, and the local buckling or detachment of side frames and end brackets at lower connections could lead to cracking of the shell plating, which would allow the ingress of water into the cargo spaces. The protective coatings which may be required to be applied in the cargo hold are also subject to deterioration caused by the corrosive nature of the cargo, high temperature cargoes, cargo settlements during the voyage, and abrasive action of the cargo. It is important of assessing defects and damage to cargo spaces where no protective coatings has been applied or the applied protective coatings have broken down, the rate of corrosion in the area will greatly increase, especially when carrying corrosive cargoes such as coal. Corrosion will weaken the ship structure and may eventually seriously affect the ship structure integrity. The severity of the corrosion caused by a structure member may not be easily detected without close-up inspection or until the corrosion causes serious structure problems such as the collapse or detachment of the whole frames, resulting in cracks propagating in the side shell. That is all, sir. Thank you.